Hey everybody, so in today's video we are going to be talking about the top 5 high schools in Fairfax County according to greatschools.com or greatschools.org. So for a lot of people, when they're looking for a home, they focus on 3 things: price, location, and condition. But if you are a parent, then you have one more thing to consider, and that's going to be schools. So today we want to look at school ratings and see what the top 5 schools are in Fairfax County. Again, this is going to be according to Great Schools because there are a number of different websites and rating websites out there, but today we're going to focus on Great Schools, and over the next few weeks we're also going to look at niche.com as well as US News. Before I go into too much about Great Schools, it's probably the most popular platform or the most used platform is because you're going to see it a lot of places. If you're searching for a home on Zillow, if you see those ratings down at the bottom of the listing, that's going to be from Great Schools. Now, one thing I want to caution you about is those schools that you see at the bottom of those listings are not always the school assigned to that property. So just make sure you're always double checking that. Before we go any further, I'm Crystal Walker, part of Ask a Walker, your Northern Virginia relocation team. So if this is your first time watching, thank you for joining today. Please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to work with us, please click the link down below in the description for the Perfect Home Questionnaire, where we can schedule a time for you to meet with Abraham to discuss your relocation plans. We can answer any questions you have about the area and also just get to know exactly what you're looking for in your next home. As I said, today we're going to look at Great Schools, and I want to share with you their methodology because every rating website, they use their own way to factor in how they rate schools. So for Great Schools, they're looking at 4 different criteria, and that's going to be academic progress, how well the students are doing from one grade level to the next, also college readiness. So we're looking at graduation rates, also the percentage of students who are enrolled in advanced placement classes, and finally, the number of students who are taking those college entrance exams, ACT and the SAT. Now, they also look at test scores, and those are going to be standardized test scores. In Virginia, our students here take the standards of learning, or the SOL, throughout each grade level. And so they're going to compare how your students are doing at that school in comparison to the rest of the state. And then lastly, equity. How are students from underrepresented communities or low-income communities doing in those other 3 areas when compared to other students across the state? So now that we know a little bit about the criteria that Great Schools uses, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, which is Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is the #1 school in Fairfax County. It's the #1 school in the state, and it will not appear on today's video, nor any of the other videos when we're talking about the top schools in Fairfax County. And that's for good reason. Thomas Jefferson is a magnet school. So no matter what I tell you about the homes in the area or how great the school is, there is no property we can sell you, there's no listing we can show you that is going to guarantee admittance into Thomas Jefferson. So for that reason and that reason alone, we're not going to include it in today's video. Now, in other videos we've talked about schools, one of the things we mention all the time is that a lot of the better schools or the best schools are going to be located in the most expensive parts of Fairfax County. And while that is true, the schools with the higher ratings are oftentimes in those areas. What we found, at least on Great Schools list, is that some of the top schools are in the, shall I say, more affordable parts of Fairfax County, or maybe not as expensive would be a better way. None of the areas we're going to talk about are going to be low cost because this is Fairfax County, but they're definitely more affordable than some of the other places that we've talked about in the past when referring to the top rated schools. So today we're looking at those top 5 schools, the schools with the highest ratings for high schools in Fairfax County. So first up on our list, we have West Springfield, and West Springfield is going to be located in Springfield, Virginia. It has an 8 out of 10 rating, and it actually has really strong ratings in all 4 criteria. It has above average ratings, so we're going to see really strong progress year over year for those students. Exceptional graduation rate. About a third of their students are going to be enrolled in at least one AP class, and their test scores are far above the state average, right? So overall, really impressive there. And one other thing about West Springfield that I found, at least at this school, that I didn't see with any of the other schools on today's list, is about 9% of their students are enrolled in dual enrollment. And I was actually surprised to find that many of the other schools on today's list, or excuse me, all of the other schools on today's list, you really don't see many students taking advantage of dual enrollment. We're going to see a lot of students who take advantage of those AP classes though. Now, Springfield is a wonderful area. It's actually going to have the lowest median cost of any of the communities on today's list. The median sales price in April 2024 was $700,000. That is the most affordable that we're going to find find on today's list. And you're going to find a lot of different properties in Springfield. So you're going to find lots of single family detached homes, colonial homes. So we have lots of large colonials, but also more modest split level homes, some ramblers and ranches, as well as lots and lots of 3-level townhomes and even a few condominiums. So that's going to give you a lot of opportunities for families. Perhaps if you are looking below that $700,000 price point, there's lots of opportunity there to find homes that'll put you into this West Springfield pyramid. And additionally, we always say Springfield is a great place for someone who's looking to buy a single family home for less than $1 million. So West Springfield is first on our list. Again, it has an 8 out of 10 rating on Great Schools. Next up on our list, we're going to have Langley. Now, we've seen Langley on some of our other lists before, and it is going to be in the opposite direction. So it's a lot closer to DC, and it's in the opposite direction when it comes to price as well. For starters, the school is in McLean, and the school's going to service students who live in Great Falls and also McLean, primarily Great Falls though. And we're looking at a higher sales price there. So the median sales price in Great Falls is going to be about $1.9 million, and the median sales price in McLean a little bit less at $1.3 million. Now, you're going to find lots of homes that exceed those median prices for both Great Falls and McLean, but you're going to get a lot for your money in those areas. You're going to look at homes on substantially larger lots, newer homes, renovated, as you would expect for multi-million-dollar homes. One thing that's different about McLean is that you're also going to see homes that are a little less expensive. So you're going to find some homes below $1 million. And if you're looking at that price point, you're probably going to be looking at some older, smaller townhouses, but that is going to be an option in McLean that you're probably really not going to see in Great Falls. Great Falls, you're going to be looking almost exclusively at single family homes. Now back to Langley High School. You're looking at an 8 out of 10 rating, same as West Springfield. So again, you're going to see they have above average ratings for college readiness, test scores, equity, and then they're just about average for academic progress, which means that they're progressing from one grade level to the next on par with their peers across the state. Now, one thing we talk about all the time is how we wonder if the schools that are closer to the more affluent parts of Fairfax County have some advantages to the schools that are not in those areas. And one thing I do know is that there are some classes available at Langley that are not available at other schools throughout Fairfax County. So some of those classes are going to include things like political science. They have differential equations, electrodynamics, and also a couple of foreign language courses that are not available at other schools throughout Fairfax County. So is that worth the extra $500,000? I'm sure you're not making your housing decision solely based on schools, but there are some advantages to being enrolled at Langley that you're just not going to see at any other school outside of TJ. Next up, we have another school with an 8 out of 10 rating. We're going to move on to Woodson. Now, Woodson is located in Fairfax. Once again, it does have an 8 out of 10 rating. Scores at Woodson are going to be pretty good. So we have above average academic progress, test scores, and college readiness. 98% of the students at Woodson are going to graduate, with 89% of those students going on to college. So overall, test scores are the one thing that they really shine at, and they have the highest test scores of the schools that we're looking at, well above the state average. Now, there is some opportunity for growth at Woodson, and that's going to be when it comes to equity. The equity score there is on the lower end at just 4 out of 10. So there seems to be a significant gap there among the underserved students at Woodson. But aside from that, students at Woodson excel at every other metric. Students who are assigned to Woodson can live in a number of different locations. They may live in Fairfax, Annandale, or Springfield. And all of these places are going to be on the more affordable end. As we already said, you're looking at Springfield has a median sales price in April 2024 of $700,000, and then Annandale and Fairfax at $770,000 and $775,000 respectively. So again, under $800,000 median sales price for all three areas. And at that price point, you can find single family homes in each one of these communities. Now, our next schools are actually going to both be secondary schools. So that means that they're going to be schools that have grades 7 through 12. So their student population is going to be a little bit bigger. In Fairfax County, we have 3 secondary schools, one being Hayfield Secondary, that is not on our list. But the first secondary school we do have on our list has a 7 out of 10 rating, and that is going to be Lake Braddock. Lake Braddock is located in Burke. It has a 7 out of 10 rating. And as I said before, it does have a little bit of a larger student population. It has 4,500 students, so that is a pretty large school, but they have above average college readiness and test scores, and their academic progress and equity are about on par with the rest of the state. It's going to give you a lot of opportunity as far as housing because you have the option to live in Burke, Springfield, or Fairfax Station. Now, Burke and Springfield are both going to be on that lower end price point, so we're looking at between $700,000, $720,000 median sales price. However, if you're interested in living in Fairfax Station, now it's going to be a little bit higher. The median sales price there is going to be over $1.1 million. And in Fairfax Station, you're going to be looking exclusively at single family homes. In Burke and Springfield, you're going to have an opportunity to find some condos, a townhouse, maybe an older, smaller single family home. You're really not going to find that in Fairfax Station. Another difference between Fairfax Station and Springfield and Burke is going to be that Fairfax Station is more of a true bedroom community, whereas Burke and Springfield still allow you those creature comforts. You know, you're only a few minutes away from a supermarket or from shopping, restaurants. You're really not going to have that same experience in Fairfax Station. Our last school on the list is going to be Robinson, which is also located in Fairfax. It has a 7 out of 10 overall rating. Again, it's a larger school, has about 3,600 students, so almost 1,000 students less than we see at Lake Braddock. But again, exceptional test scores, really high college readiness rating, 99% graduation rate. I was surprised to find that only 16% of the students at Robinson take advantage of the AP classes. However, the number of students, or the students that do participate, actually have a really high pass rating. So that's fantastic. Now, another thing I noticed about Robinson is that the low-income students there are graduating at a higher rate than some of the other schools on our list today. So their equity rating is a little bit higher than some of the other schools. Places you can live when you attend Robinson are going to include Burke, Fairfax Station, Clifton, and of course Fairfax. So once again, we have those homes that are available in that sub $800,000 price point. Median sales price in Burke is $720,000. In Fairfax, $775,000. In Clifton, a little bit higher at $980,000. A little bit higher. $980,000 is the median sales price in Clifton, and then in Fairfax Station, once again, over $1.1 million. So again, you have a lot of housing options when you're looking in these areas in the Robinson Secondary School Pyramid. You have a lot of options. You can find, a townhouse in Fairfax or Burke, a smaller or older single family home, again, staying below the $800,000 price point. Whereas in Fairfax and Clifton, you're probably looking primarily at single family homes. You are going to find some townhouses in Clifton. However, those are not usually zoned for Robinson High School. And we're going to get into a little bit more detail about that in just a second. So lots of options. As you can see in Fairfax County, you don't have to live in the most expensive parts of Fairfax County in order to be in one of the best or most highly regarded schools that we have to offer here in the area. Now, you notice that Langley was the only school that was kind of towards the east or close to DC. All the other schools were kind of in like that Burke, Springfield, Fairfax area. And I want to caution all of our parents to remember to check the Fairfax County boundary locator whenever you find a home. You want to definitely check out the Fairfax County boundary locator and put the property address in there, and it's going to tell you the school assignment for all grade levels. Now, this is really important because we have all of these schools in this area. If you look on the map, Springfield, Burke, really close together. You want to confirm the school assignment because depending on your address, you actually could end up not at one of these many schools in this area that have high ratings, but unfortunately, there are also some schools that have significantly lower ratings. For example, if you move it to Annandale, we spoke about Woodson earlier. So Woodson, really high rating, 8 out of 10. At the same time, other people who live in Annandale, their home may be assigned to Annandale High, which again does not have such high ratings. Same thing with Springfield. Springfield is a pretty large area. It was listed 3 times, right? During this video, we talked about it 3 times. So Springfield is a great place to live because you could end up going to Woodson. You could end up going to West Springfield High or Lake Braddock. Fantastic. However, there's also another school in Springfield that is on the opposite end. His school is called Lewis. It's on the opposite end of these scores, right? So you definitely want to make sure you're always checking your home address to confirm the school assignment. That is really, really important for us parents out there. So I hope you found today's video helpful. If you did, please like the video, share the video, leave a comment. If you're in the process of buying a home, if you have questions about the schools in the area, please click the link down below in the description for the perfect home consultation. We'll schedule a time to meet with you to discuss any and everything you want to talk about regarding Fairfax County. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.